In this video, I want to talk about an aspect. And it's a specific aspect in my chart that some of you may have as well. This is for, in particular, people who are Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Pluto. So it's going to be a certain age group, right? Or a few certain age groups spread generations apart. And check what Pluto is in your chart. If it's in Scorpio and yet your sun is in Aquarius, you would actually be Sun square Pluto. But this is in particular for Sun Scorpio, Pluto Scorpio people. I just found out about this aspect earlier this week because it had been a week where, and this is just the cycle of life, I had been in a really positive, upbeat spirit, and then I just kept seeing things either in myself or in other people this week that were bullshit, that needed to die, that behavior needed to stop. And they kept hurting me or pissing me off. Again, there were certain things I was doing that I realized were bullshit, that were not helpful. And I saw things in other people that were continuously bothering me. And this has been my whole life. You know, I'm in a happy place. It's not that I'm depressed. It's not that I need medication. So this is basically Sun conjunct Pluto. That's the aspect. It's when Pluto and the Sun are in the same sign next to one another. So Pluto is actually the ruler of Scorpio. Well, so is Mars, but Pluto is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is Hades. It's all about putting death to things. It's, in a way, getting rid of things that are dead, getting rid of things that don't serve you. Someone with the heavy aspect of Pluto in their chart, including Sun conjunct Pluto, will experience lots of death to things that brings life to other things. It's that transformation. It's the phoenix. And I really want to talk about this today because this was not a good week. But I'm in a place, based on what I've experienced in the last year in my Saturn return, to have the wisdom to recognize that it's not anything new. A Sun conjunct Pluto, Scorpio Sun conjunct Pluto Scorpio, can tend to see things as very much like life or death. That every time something or like a really bad week happens, they think that is the worst thing that's ever happened to them, because we feel things and experience them in such a huge way that we never take something as just, oh, it was just bad. It's like either really bad or really good, right? So I was having a really, really great fall so far. And then this week, it was just one thing after another. And they weren't even major things, but I can tell you that my reaction to them was, okay, so these things all have a purpose to help me be better, to help me transform into a better person and to a fuller person. And so then what happens from there, describing this mindset now, the Sun conjunct Pluto person will dive into it, just like a Scorpio. We dive into the center of it. And I have withdrawn quite a bit this week just from other people. I'm still talking to people, but I've withdrawn into myself to figure out what is going on. And I'm still figuring it out. And I probably will be for a little bit now. And I won't stop until I figure out what it is that I'm supposed to learn right now, what's supposed to be transformed. I have ideas, but so I've only found out those things by sitting with myself and studying more about astrology, studying more about other people and what's in their charts and maybe why they're acting the way they are acting. It's also brought out the paranoid behavior that happens with Scorpio. So because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, it has that scorpionic energy. Again, it's transformative, but it's also very, very dark. And that doesn't mean in any way that I'm thinking about hurting myself. That's not what dark means. It simply means that we go through periods, Plutonian people, Sun conjunct Pluto, where we actually don't want to see the light. We don't want to see the bright side. And for people who always want us to see that, for Sun conjunct Pluto people, we have no understanding of that, and they have no understanding of us. Those can be very challenging relationships for Sun conjunct Pluto. If someone says, "Oh, you're being so negative," because for us, it's like, no, I already see, like, there's always negativity there. I want to see exactly what's making this negative thing happen so that I can make it stop. Because, especially when you have Sun in Scorpio as well, for, you know, a conjunct in Scorpio and Sun and Pluto, there's so much transformative power behind this energy. That's like quadrupled the energy. And so those of us who are Sun Scorpios, Pluto Scorpios, and if you're watching this video, what I'm coming to terms with this week is that, again, this is something that's happened over and over in my life, and that I don't like getting too comfortable, that I don't like getting to a place where I am trying to put my faith in what I think the world expects, which is most of the world, oh, you're supposed to get comfortable and you're just supposed to chill. The Scorpio doesn't want to chill. If you tell a Scorpio to chill when they don't want to chill, they will be pissed at you. And they will walk away like, you don't understand me. We desire transformation. And that means if we're in a bad mood, we may sit there because we want to figure out what is going on, right? Like, I've tried to go to sleep early several times this week. Wasn't happening. I get to that point, and then I remember the thing that really upset me or hurt me earlier in the day, and I get that feeling again. That's a sign to those of you who have this aspect, as I believe, because I'm working it out this week and recognizing it's happened throughout my life, that's the opportunity to sit with it and think and feel and light some incense and think, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to be learning about myself now? Because for a Sun conjunct Pluto, especially in Scorpio, it's all about learning about yourself and how you can be better, how you can transcend what is your current life. Because you know that your current life could be better. And I'm not talking about better in the Virgo sense, about like nitpicking little things and analyzing them and working them out. This means like literally killing off the things that don't work for you. And for someone with this scorpionic energy in Pluto and Sun, you can't help it. It's part of how you function. It's part of how you live your life. It will often determine what kind of career you do, right? I coach people to always find ways in music, to find ways that they can better themselves, that they can dig into the honesty of what they're doing and not just stay on the surface. So Sun conjunct Pluto is a very powerful placement. Normally conjuncts, the things next to one another, are traditionally meant to be very positive. Know that Sun conjunct Pluto in Scorpio and Sun conjunct Pluto in general, it can feel quite negative at times. It is anything but comfortable. And the lesson that I've learned here, and I'm learning here, my Saturn returns exactly in less than 2 months. So I know that energy is increasing, and I'm trying to put it to productive energy. I've gotten a lot of things done, but before I would feel this uncomfortable feeling, and I would just throw myself into work that would distract me from dealing with myself. And I've gotten to the point now where I know, through my Saturn return and a bunch of crazy shit happening, that you don't actually transform into the better person by distracting yourself with all that work. If you have a Sun conjunct Pluto, you're not going to get rid of it. The intensity is not going to go away. As much as other people always tell you, you're too intense, why don't you chill? You are who you are. You know that whole saying, love yourself? Yeah. But then that also means for a Sun conjunct Pluto, that means sometimes, man, I hate myself right now. But I want to love myself again, so what can I do? And you got to figure it out. And let yourself be whatever you're going to be at that time. Right now, this week, I've had some communication with people. It's just, I can't help but I'm feeling awkward, and I'm feeling just out of my depth because something is off. And while I'm figuring it out, it's necessary in life to go through, and you have to communicate with people, but it's very hard right now. I don't really want to. I would rather stay at home and brood and figure things out. But let yourself be who you are, Sun conjunct Pluto. Let yourself Let yourself be intense. Let yourself be complicated. And say what you have to say. And if you say the wrong thing, you can always apologize. You can practice what you preach, expecting honesty from others. You can always say, you know what, I'm really sorry that I did that. But let yourself get to that honest place so that you can be transformed. So that in accepting yourself, you can accept that you have this bad stuff. Because without seeing it, how can you get rid of it? If you refuse to see that it's there, Scorpio, you're always going to be acting out of that insecurity and that hurt. So acknowledge what you have and rise above it. And I guess know that it'll keep happening throughout your life, because you are meant to transform and rise over and over again. And that is Sun conjunct Pluto.